Hello, greetings. This is me, Zahra Jawad, a truth seeker, ex-Shia, thank God, an ex-Muslim. Thank God, because also now what's happened is it's horrifying what's dawned on me after going through the Islamic sources. Sorry, my my voice is cracking, and this is the way my videos are. So help for the Muslims, Shias and Sunnis and Wahhabis and Salafis and everyone. I know that it will be difficult to leave this religion as a Shia, as I was one. So sorry about the sound in the background if you can hear it. If not, then it's okay. Okay, my videos are like this, and I'm slow, traumatized, like I said, shocked, and I even struggle with my mother tongue to express myself. But anyhow, I had to struggle here more. For me, it's like this with English, not being my mother tongue, and not reading much, just Jiddu Krishnamurti in Karachi. When I found him, his books, sorry, I did not find him, but his books. So I left everything else and thought that in plain, simple words to explain to someone, to show, rather than use all these words, those who are who have a good command over their language. I don't. It's not that I'm criticizing them. It's only that I'm, saying some people use this very flowery language, and for some people, experts, it is really good when you have to teach someone and when you have to show someone. And to have this impediment is so unfortunate. So they are, they've worked hard, or they've been more fortunate than I have. Okay, so I'm not criticizing them. So please, if you, about, the archaeological evidence and all this, I was just watching these great talks and discussions by P. Fender channel on YouTube, and the other one is Sira International, I think, Sira International. You can watch that about Zamzam water if you want archaeological evidence and other things in detail and excellent, perfectly put. You can watch other ex-Muslims. And this is just terribly homemade, layman's, amateur. Okay, where I am now, what are my findings after seeping through and going through the Quran verses and Islamic history and sources, leaving LL Bayt at times when I have to in my search or research on Islam. I've come to a dreadful seeing that Prophet Muhammad, the Apostle of Allah, killed, who Safiya bint Huyayy is, her father. Killed her father and thus killed a Jew who was related to Isaac from Abraham and Moses and Aaron. So all these verses and all Quran verses against Jews. So before I proceed, I have to say something. What did I have to say? I've forgotten now. Oh God. Okay, if I'm not able to explain this in this video, very plain, you can see. I've chosen brown and actually brown is not coming properly here. So, okay, brown and white is good enough. please embrace yourselves. And what else can I say? Is that this prophet, you can see what he's done. You can follow my videos, and sorry, it's not, you know, up to the par, professional. So you'll just have to do with my voice. I was thinking of making a video, but I thought, no, it's going to take too long, and I'm very restless. My condition and all this, and apart from the personal things like feeling Jawaria, yeah, so, yeah, feeling like, like Dr. Deepak Chopra also said when he wanted to write a book on Muhammad or Jesus, he went through feeling that them through some, there's a way of doing it. I don't know, but it came to me about Joaria. So we never thought of it this way, and now since my research I've been thinking this way, that just neutrally seeing it, and I don't know what divine power helped me. Otherwise I've been struggling, and so hard, it's so hard for me. Um, with all the things I've said previously, also in my previous videos. So you see this man, he wanted, also through the Shia side, we can see that he wanted his nearest of kin actually, his daughter Fatima and his cousin Ali, to, take this, become favorites of Allah and chosen and all this. And he stole things from the Jews. This is what I see after my research, reading about Safiya bint Huyayy, and the hadiths which have come, which I'm not able to show you here. Aisha said, they used to insult Safiya bint Huyayy. So this way it's come that Safiya bint Huyayy was not only a Jewish lady, but that her father was from Moses and Aaron and Isaac, Abraham's son. So can you see this if you would open all those hadiths? Or an article which I found, articles, about Safiya bint Huyayy, and then the hadiths are given there, and then you can check them on wherever they are, in whatever book they are. You can check them if they're in Sahih Bukhari, if they're in Sunan Abi Dawud, right? Is it Abi Dawud, like that? Or you can check those hadiths, and you can see like this man has really, and you can even check the verses that I have given to you about Jews, and not only I, but the verses given in the Quran against the Jews, that they killed their prophets and they were terrible and they broke the Sabbath. And so, when in that hadith, when Safiya bint Huyayy is blamed, there's a rumor going on that she still keeps the Sabbath on Saturday. She's like, no, I have left that, and I'm practicing the one on Friday that the Muslims have. So this way I got on about the Messenger of Allah too. But it took more than this. It took not only this, but to feel what Jawaria, how I was feeling, that she was being raped and they were kept hostages. And we never considered captives as hostages. And Shias, I don't know where the lapse comes. We never mentioned too much about the ladies' captives. Never occurred to my mind that the other side, the the Umayyad side would have, or the Jewish side, or from, no, what I mean to say is, I never thought that, I thought that from the Umayyad side they had captives, the Jews, war captives, but never from this side, because you know the story. Excuse me, you can read the tragedy of Imam Hussein, and how then you can see how we Shias, you can listen to the majlises, but to make it very easy for you, we cry on the captivity of Zainab bint Ali and the children of Imam Hussein and the other women folk of Imam Hussein. Another sister, Kulsum, who was not married, but I don't know why she is called the mother, Kulsum. This means that her first child has to be Kulsum, for her to be referred as that. Or we say that she was given such a title because she didn't have a child. So there are some majlises in the Masahib, the tragedy when it comes. First the discussion about the Quran ayats, and then comes the tragedy. That's our majlis, tragedy of Karbala. So we're told about Salma at times that Hazrat Abbas said, you have no child to give, you're single, you were never married, I will sacrifice for you in Karbala. And the Sunni sources have some other thing about Kulsum, that she was married to one of the Sahabas or something like that, and she wasn't in Karbala, or even if she was in Karbala. I cannot check that, please. You'll have to overlook and forgive me and correct me about this. So I'm just making my videos fast. I don't have the strength actually to go make videos like David would. It takes hours, and because of my condition, I cannot make videos like that. But where I've reached, and what terrible, dreadful dawning, is that Apostle of Allah was a false prophet. He was a tyrant. Whatever he's written about against hypocrites in the Quran, his Allah has, and his against the Jews and against the Christians also, against the idol worshippers. It's all disbelievers. It's all must be, this is what he was. And he copied it from them, their good character, nobility, and started to put it on himself. And he made his nearest of kin. You can ask the Shias. You can read about the Ahl Bayt. You can find out, Google search. This is what he did. Surah Shura, verse 23. Love of near of kinship, that says reward for the ayat is there. Ayat is there in the Quran. Surah Shura, verse 23. Chapter number is 42, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Love of his nearest of kin. Then in context, when you read it, and through the Shias sources and Sunni sources, even the Sunni sources do include or only have these 5. Love of, which they sometimes miss. I don't know why. I don't know the Sunni side of that, why they miss this. Some say that it is a general verse, but the religious scholars have reached a unanimous conclusion. I cannot say that because I haven't refreshed my memory on my research, which I did in Karachi, and I have forgotten whether unanimously the Sunni scholars, Muslim scholars, non-Shia, believed, have this opinion that, or believe that this in the hadith where he was in the house of Salma, so that this love of nearest of kin, his nearest of kin, it is his nearest of kin. Although the ayat, let me just correct myself, the ayat is put like this, and so I'll have to go to Surah Shuara, correct myself how the generally it's put, but it says it's for the, what it says is for the good of no, for the reward of his message, right? To love the nearest of kin, and then we read it in context. The Shias know and are sure, I'm sure about this, that they take Ali, Fatima, Hassan, Hussein's love of them as the reward for the messenger of Allah, the message of the messenger of Allah, and thus it is obligatory for them to love these Ali, Fatima, Hassan, Hussein, and thereafter their moms. But in this verse, we are told that his nearest of kin, in context, Shia sources have reached this conclusion, are Ali, Fatima, Hassan, Hussein. And this is the way the Surah Shura verse 23 should be read and understood. So this man now, coming to Apostle of Allah, killed Ishaq's side, Abraham's son, killed the Jews, killed their warriors, their leaders, their greatest warriors, to get all that, to steal it, snatch it from them, and then to say that he is from Ishmael. And so now for us, it wasn't that Isaac was taken as a sacrifice, but Ishmael was taken as a sacrifice. But in the Bible, Old Testament, it says that Abraham took Isaac and not Ishmael. But here it's changed in the Quran, and then he blames the Jews and the Christians for changing the books and all this. You can see how cleverly it is done. It is very high-handedness, calculatingly done, and such hypocrites. So if I'm losing a point, like, why Yazid, I'll also touch on that, like, such hypocrites like Yazid, such tyrants, such hypocrites that they made, the forefathers brought about such a tyrant like Yazid. And why in Karbala were even the Sahabas now, some of the Sahabas, companions of Prophet Muhammad, not listening to his grandson Hussein when he was giving a speech, who is related to and who his grandfather is. And you can see by why they weren't listening to Imam Hussein, and then you can see how he paraded. And that's like Ibn Ishaq has brought this out, right? Huyayy was paraded. And so how it is turned, like the Shias don't take Ibn Ishaq, like weak narration, one person, Ibn Ishaq it comes from. So how cleverly, how cunningly, and Huyayy ibn Akhtab is made the most terrible, such a terrible, what do you call it, man. He actually was very, very treacherous against Muslims of that time and Prophet Muhammad. So I've come to Wikipedia. I hope I don't miss the main points. Huyayy is said to have been a courageous warrior and a learned man. Personality, Wikipedia, family. His ancestry was Huyayy ibn Ibn Akhtab, Ibn Sayyah, Ibn Thalaba, Ibn Ubaid, Ibn Ka'b, Ibn al-Khazraj, excuse me, Ibn Abi Habib, Ibn al-Nadir. That's where it stops here in Wikipedia. He married Bara bint Samawal of the neighboring Qurayza tribe and had at least one son and two daughters with her. Bara bint Samawal was from distinguished Arabian Jewish family. Her father was the poet Al-Samawal ibn Adi. So Wikipedia gives this much, and you can tell by reading about on Wikipedia about Huyayy after Hijrah 622 CE, according to his daughter, meaning Safiya bint Huyayy. Yes, he had one daughter and two sons. Well, see how quickly I forget. Anyhow, you can read that and correct me. After the Hijrah, okay, his according to his daughter, Huyayy opposed Muhammad from the day he arrived in Medina. She recalled, I was my father's and my uncle Abu Yasir's favorite child. I've already read this, right? It's recorded in Wikipedia under Huyayy, not Safiya, but her father. Yes, so do you recognize him? So Jews were waiting for their Messiah, and he took this opportunity, don't know, and he's like pasted and, copy, plagiarized from here and there. We say Talmud also, I've heard, that he copied from the Jewish books. At first, Huway's opposition simply took the form of public debates. On one occasion, he had a discussion with Muhammad upon the mystical letters, beginning some of the surahs in the Quran. The reason why I'm reading all this is that I want to come across something that I want to show you is quite calculating of Prophet Muhammad. If we can see through it. He, fearing to compromise himself, refused to admit him. When Abu Sufyan, the Quraysh leader, but Huyayy was to become the most inveterate enemy of Muhammad, to the point where Ibn Hisham, Muhammad's biographer, calls him the enemy of Allah. So, gone case. He's called the enemy of Allah. And so all this Huyayy, what they've showed, here it is. Whatever they've said against Huyayy, actually it was Muhammad himself, the apostle of Allah. And you can find, see, I'm not looking at it whether Ishmael, whether the Bible is right or Ishmael. I couldn't, because I would get confused, not being Christian. Is my prejudice involved? How can I trust in the Bible when Imam Hussein has given such a sacrifice? So I had to go in a roundabout manner and here and there and then come back. Like find out why did Yazid? Okay, we say there's a tyrant. I'm again repeating myself. Tyrant is there and the tyrant is him. Like I wanted to understand Yazid. Why couldn't he listen? And I felt that couldn't it be that because Imam Hussein was one time when I was reading this or listening to a majlis that I'm the son of the grandson. Keep communication on in the battlefield, and before the battle starts, talk to them in length and consider the relationship and all this. So I kind of felt it was very artificial. And that why did the enemy not listen to him? That he is the son of the true prophet of Islam, who is related to Ishmael. And he could have gone on and given proof and all that. But here, I think somewhere Imam Hussein also failed to give proof about his father. And this is what got to me. Like, see, before they wouldn't, now they wouldn't. You just call them hypocrites and a tyrant has been made. But then I started to question whether the tyrant has been made by his grandfather, by saying that, he's better among the others. And then again, if you come to the Jews, you'll say, well, they could have, it's in the Jews, it's in the books, that the Israelis are better than any other because, prophets are coming from their land. And anyways, in the Quran we are then I looked at the Quran and it's blaming the Jews, how this person, I don't have words. We couldn't question the Quran, first of all, in the, when we were, we could question the Quran and look at it, but it would lead to us being Shia Muslims. And this is not what it led to, what it claimed, what the Shias claim to say. So I'm not going to, another thing is, I'm jumping to that, I'm not going to follow this prophet because he's killed Huyayy. Now, from Ishmael comes the race and that is the right race and I'm the better. He said it in Dawat-e-Ashara, Zal-Ashara, what you call it. But I call it Dawat-e-Ashara, right? I just, take a shortcut. A book and a decree and a massacre has been written against the sons of Israel. Huh? Then the apostle went, I just read, I'm going to start, what's this? According to Ibn Ishaq. So I'll just read this, I'll cut myself short. Then the apostle went out to the market of Medina, which is still its market today, and dug trenches in it. Oh, you can read this. This was very much for me. I couldn't read it out. Huyayy had a daughter with Bara bint Samawal, Safiya bint Huyayy. Safiya later became a wife of Muhammad. So on one hand, you're blaming the Jews for being favorites because most of the prophets were Hebrew from the Israelites, from Ishaq, the son of Abraham. But then you've made yourself this prophet and the favorite, beloved of God. And Muslims, your followers, are the best of creatures. And how you say that the Muslims, Jews, they don't go there. Christians, they're Christ followers. But look what we call ourselves, Muslims. Maybe this word also did not originally come. Muhammad has been copying ideas and all. He was like David Wood said, warlord. He was like that underground dawn that India has, Dawood Ibrahim. Or, that movie, have you seen that? You may not have seen the Indian movie Sholay. Amitabh Bachchan and Dharmendra and all, Emma Malini and Jaya Badri, they're in it. You know that, what's his name? Gabbar Singh, underground, what do you call him? All this gangster captives and hostages. Consider. So then how can you say? So then coming back to the point where, how can you blame the Jews? And now the Muslims are so very, oh God, I have to take a pause. Yesterday I took a pause. I just didn't upload one video, maybe early morning or something. Maybe not. No, today morning. And it's now 12. Yeah, yesterday morning. I took a break from this. It was too much for me, feeling Joaria hostage, being raped. So he's also raped the Jews, the chief leaders' daughters. And who else? In Allama Majlisi, I read Hayatul Qulub, Volume 1, that they were saying some imams or, coming from Prophet Muhammad, that I will get to marry Mary, mother of Christ, in paradise, wherever that high place. After, you know, death, after I die, I will have all these women. Like, what? So I called, I spoke to, when I got a chance to talk to my aunt who was doing research, late aunt, she told me that, no, I told her this, and she said, no, Umayyads were giving money, and that's why there was a lot of this thing, hostages and bribery and all that. They were under attack. Their lives were risked. Shias and the historians and the imams, you can see. So I was like, if I can trust in this, no, but I really don't understand. If the Quran is preserved, but the sayings from imams and all this, if there's an interpolation, this whole thing fails. Scriptures and all this. It's too much for me to take. How do I know over there what happened? And so there's something wrong in this scripture thing, holy scriptures and all. Interpolations coming in, false hadiths coming in, and all this. So, this point. And so you can see it's heart-wrenching. So I've just given my one little or 2 points that say that, then how could he be the favorite of Allah? And he's the messenger, and from him is the progeny coming that will take all these Abrahamic their imams, they will lead, and it goes on like this. Whereas here lies dying, Huyayy paraded. Among them was the enemy of Allah, Huyayy ibn Akhtab, which is still in its market today, and dug trenches in it. Then he sent for them and struck off their heads in those trenches as they were brought out to him in badges. Shias Muhammad struck off their heads. Then the Apostle went out to the market of Medina. So we say, no, this comes from Ibn Ishaq, we used to say. But now can your eyes be opened, Shias? Because we were never allowed to be followers of the oppressors. Sometimes I'm supposed, when I made this mistake in some video. Oppressed. We are not to follow oppressors, Shias, as we have taught Imam Hussein to be the oppressed, and his women folk, Zainab and Kulsum, and the little child Sakina, in Arabic Ruqayya, Arabs call her Ruqayya bint Hussein. By God, I do not repent of her. He was paraded in the market, flowered robe in which he had made holes about. The size, I don't want to read. Okay, I'm feeling a little sick now. So that's why. Sorry, I had to see how far I'll go with this. But Apostle of Allah killed a Jewish who was related, and he could have been. A Messiah may have been coming from Isaac through them. Safiya bint Huyayy, reader. So I've just helped you a little bit. I hope this will help you to see what I have seen, the dreadful, horrifying thing I have seen. To cut off the race of Isaac, he made himself the relative of Ishmael, and then you can see through his Quran verses, hateful, and enmity, and all this, right? The verse in what that surah I forget. Safiya went away may have been under. Oh, how could she marry this? Right? What? Is someone trying to. Sorry, I'm getting these funny things, having funny experiences since. I keep saying this. No, no, now please don't Sahara me and stop me. What? I went through a few hours of a Joveria. I could have lost my mind, killed myself, gone case. But she couldn't do it. Because imagine captives, hostages. She had to save her tribe. And what did he say to her? Marry me, and I will give you ransom and free you. Oh, you've taken all their money. You've killed her husband, Mustafa. So 3 hours or less than a half day was enough for me to feel Jawaria. And this man coming on you. He wanted to rape all these women of great clans, even the idol worshippers, like misused them, like Khadija and all. And I don't know how he duped and what, but I can see that no one could come to help because hostages were there. Children, hostages, Shias, from the Jewish side, Bani Mustalik tribe. So we should have seen this. And I've reached a conclusion that he's not only a rapist of these women, but that he is the murderer of the true Messiah of the Jews. Now, if Imam Mahdi comes from his progeny, trying to, it's just clever, very calculating. I'm going to stay away. I hope they don't rape me or, take me as captive. Just imagine thinking the Shias are waiting for Imam Mahdi. It's still like the avenging, bringing justice, but still he will bring Yazid again. What about Mukhtar, what Mukhtar the Avenger did to Yazid? Isn't that enough? Still, we go on. Stop Ziyarat Ashura. I will never recite that. This man was actually what he made those people, made us believe they were. Himself and his progeny. Even Hussein, the worst. But Yazid, I think, took it out on Hussein. What could he do? Did he have a choice? There was no way to stop this man raping the Jewish clans. Another thing comes up in my mind that has just collapsed. It's a point that I wanted to give out for you to see. But when I remember, I will come back again just for one point or two. But I think it's my ending of totally wash my hands of this religion. Huyayy ibn Akhtab. Blessings and greetings. Yeah, so what if, oh my God, Mahdi comes, right? What if this devil's progeny is still alive? I hope I stay away. Mahdi must be now, Imam Mahdi must be like 1,000 more years old. He's in hiding. And perhaps this guy has a devil or some, is he the Dajjal? Someone could lie and say, yes, I'm Imam Mahdi, my age is 40 years old. Still, after 1,000 years and so have passed. And no, I would rather die. But you don't die here. He wants to rape them. He wants to give these women to the Sahabas as slave girls, captives, and marry. Why couldn't you marry though, except Forbidden to you are all married women except those whom your right hands possess, Shias. And then we talk about Zainab's chadar, veil being snatched. Oh my God, how Huyayy was paraded here in the market of even Wikipedia, but through Ibn Ishaq, only one chain of narration about this history, Islamic history. Huyayy and his family settled at Khaybar, Battle of Trench. Sorry, did I go up? Market, can I see Market Medina? Which is still its market today. Okay. I'm not getting the markets, market of Akas or anyways, this is, thank God my eyes, so, when we're told that when Ali Akbar was martyred, Imam Hussein was like, I've lost my eyesight. I've lost my eyesight. So all this he did, this Prophet Muhammad, putting it on the idol worshippers, and even raped Aisha. So, it's made them like really terrible, jungly wives. And we say, oh, such terrible, ridiculous hadiths come from them. They wanted to mar the Prophet's reputation and all. Now you see, Shias, do you see it? The sooner you see it, the better. Because Imam Mahdi, if he comes, I'm telling you, this person, you can see the way I'm showing you. Help yourselves. Please get out of this Shia Islam and Islam altogether. Please get out. You're not like the Shia, especially like how we are, the oppressed and Bibi Zainab, how they played on our emotions. Taking emotional blackmail. When a beggar comes, what do we say? Oh, he's taking God's name, and then if he takes Maula Ali's name, he's emotionally blackmailing us to give him money in Pakistan, Karachi, remember? No, he should not be doing this. This is what he's done. He's taken, and we used to wonder, like, but why would his children go through? This was the way of these people, what do you call them? What do you call Gabbar Singh in Chole? So, Urdu word is also not coming. Tyrants, underground Zalimun, cruel tyrants, the cruelest. And then, you see, you can read Anita Rai also to understand. It's all in English, well put. If you are an English-speaking person, Anita Rai's The Essential Woman, a Google search it. This is where the only thing is that this is not where Ishaq, the Prophet Ishaq, was. This is not the time, for Prophet Ishaq to be waiting and seeing. Right? How does Anita Rai put it in The Essential Woman when Bibi Zainab is in the Darbar of Yazid? Okay. I only have the heart for this much right now, and maybe taking a break, have my tea, finish it, and then see if I can carry on how far I can go with this. Thank you so much. I will continue later. Leave Shia Islam. Apostle of Allah killed Safiya bin, not only Safiya bin Huway's father, but married her, and he could be, from them could be the Messiah of the Jews coming, and he tried to efface. He tried to finish the Jews of his time, putting such blames on them. And even perhaps the idol worshippers' Kalki Avatar is coming. Now he cannot. So now is the time for you to see Shias, especially Muslims also, and leave this religion. He tried to kill the Messiah of the Jews by killing Safiya bint Huyay's father, who was related to, we are told, from the Muslim history. Lineage is given of Safiya bint Huyay and her father. Ishaq, the son of Abraham. Moses and Aaron. Oh my God, this means he was also trying to take, sorry, before I go, at this point also, from Safiya bint Huyay, imagine what he could have taken from them to put in his Quran. No one to stop him. And then when did all this, it carried on and on, that he's the oppressed through his daughter's sons also, and the truth remained suffering in these women raped by Prophet Muhammad. Okay, anything else? Okay, I'm tired. I keep losing. I'm very restless also. Can't do my work properly, so please forgive me. And but I will never forgive myself if I don't raise a voice for Safiya bint Huyay and the true Messiah, and what truly happened at that time, and who is the evil progeny, and who tried to finish. Why? Because Jews Messiah, and from his progeny should come the true prophet and the true imams, and they are the chosen and all this, right? Not the true, from Muhammad was the last of the prophet, but what I mean to say is that from his lineage should come the Messiah, which we call the imam, spiritual leader, and the last savior awaited to bring justice and peace, to establish it on earth forever and ever, until we are told he'll be killed by someone. Anyhow, I'll leave you with this now and then come back if I have something to give to you and show you, so you leave Shia Islam too. Altogether leave Islam. Thank you so much.